Welcome to Criminal Enigma Stories. Today, we delve into the tragic case of Brenda Ball, one of the many victims of infamous serial killer Ted Bundy. Brenda vanished in June 1974, and her remains were later found on Taylor Mountain, a notorious Bundy burial site. Brenda Ball's disappearance was part of a disturbing pattern. By June 1974, 6 young women had gone missing from Washington under mysterious circumstances. Brenda was last seen outside a tavern in Berrien, Washington. On May 31, 1974, Brenda visited the Flame Tavern, a rough bar in Berrien. She arrived alone, watched the band, and stayed until closing time. She was last spotted in the parking lot, talking to a young man with his arm in a sling. Her adventurous nature initially led friends and roommates to dismiss her disappearance. However, concern grew when they noticed none of her clothes were missing. They reported her disappearance 16 days later, after realizing there had been no activity on her bank account. Brenda, described as a free-spirited 22-year-old, had dropped out of Highline Community College shortly before she went missing. She lived with 2 roommates in Normandy Park and was known for taking spontaneous trips. An employee at the Flame Tavern reported seeing Brenda talking to a young man with a sling. This description matched that of a man seen at other crime scenes near the time of other disappearances, including Susan Rancourt at Central Washington State College. Despite the similarities in the cases, police initially did not link Brenda's disappearance with the other missing Seattle women. Her free-spirited nature made her disappearance seem less suspicious at first glance. Phyllis Armstrong, a friend of another Bundy victim, recounted an encounter with a man on crutches, asking for help. She managed to escape, a decision that likely saved her life. Similar encounters were reported by other women around the same time. Even though Brenda's case was not initially connected with other missing women, more victims disappeared under similar circumstances. It wasn't until much later that authorities recognized the pattern of Bundy's behavior. In March 1975, Brenda Ball's remains were discovered by 2 students on Taylor Mountain. The site revealed craniums, mandibles, and other remains of 4 victims, including Brenda, Linda Ann Healy, Susan Rancourt, and Kathleen Parks. Bundy was later interviewed in 1980, providing insights into his crimes. Though he spoke in the third person, he detailed the methods and motivations behind his killing spree, shedding light on the fate of Brenda Ball. During these interviews, Bundy described how he altered his approach, intentionally choosing Brenda Ball to divert attention from his usual pattern of targeting college-aged women. He claimed he met Brenda by chance and offered her a ride from the tavern. Bundy's chilling confession detailed how he lured Brenda into his car under the guise of taking her to a party. This encounter ultimately led to her tragic and untimely death, adding her name to the long list of his victims. Thank you for joining us on this sobering journey through the tragic case of Brenda Ball. Understanding these stories helps us remember the victims and recognize the importance of vigilance and safety. Stay tuned for more true crime stories.